Cocky girl no fight over. Wine panny. Boom boom so tight to me man. Phone take a picture you that you fit. This is Cinnamon. Yes, that's what me like it. Bring your body, come here, make me ride it. Ride it like a. Give me the famous flick now. Give me the famous flick here. Bandsman. This is the most famous flick from Jamaica. This is Cinnamon. You know what me pum pum. On the body me up.
One, two, mic test.
Okay, we're starting in 2 minutes.
Kids, yo, show us the way that we sanctify. Fire blazer in a cool, no. Teach us to pray, save those who doomed to die. The needy son of God be forgotten, no way. I said,
Good morning, everyone. Good morning, everyone. Those of you to the back, we invite you to take your seats as we are about to begin this important event here, being brought to you by the St. Kitts Music Festival. And I hope that you can find your seats so that we can get going. It's a beautiful day in St. Kitts and Nevis today, in every aspect. Great weather, sun is shining, no threat of rain. It's a Friday, it's a weekend, and it's a great opportunity for us to find out what is happening with the latest as it relates to St. Kitts Music Festival 2019, not 2018. 2019. So I want to indicate now that we are officially starting today's ceremony in the next 15 seconds. So this is for all media outlets that we are on air in 15 seconds. And in the meantime, as we count down, because some have already joined, I want to say a big thank you to everyone who supported the music festival this year. You're tempted sometimes to say last year, but it is still this year. And so let me now officially welcome everyone to this live broadcast of the 2019 St. Kitts Music Festival release of the first wave of artists. My name is Val Henry. Communications, assisting with the marketing of the St. Kitts Music Festival. I'm very honored to have with us also this morning at the OTI, where we're bringing this live broadcast from, the Honorable Lindsay Grant, who is the Minister of Tourism, who has the responsibility for the organizing of the St. Kitts Music Festival. With me also is the Chairman of the St. Kitts Music Festival Committee, Mr. Damien Hobson, and we'll also have the involvement of the Chairman of the Artist Selection Committee, Mr. Jonel Powell, who would be part of the process as well during this morning's ceremony. I want to indicate that we have this broadcast being carried on ZIZ Radio, so we welcome your listeners, Freedom FM, Von Radio in Nevis. In addition, we are coming to you live on Sugar City FM, and we are streaming at various locations on social media, on Facebook. If you go to the St. Kitts Music Festival Facebook page, you'll be able to find the video stream. If you go to myviewnews.com Facebook page, you'll also be able to find the stream. And I'm sure that some of the other media organizations are also streaming, so that no matter where you are in St. Kitts and Nevis or overseas, you have the opportunity. We are also going via CBN live in the British and US Virgin Islands. So we welcome our listeners in the Virgin Islands, both the British and the US as well. I want to now indicate to you that this year there are a few changes that have been made for next year's music festival. And we are going to have to get accustomed in terms of what we are saying, because as you would recall, the music festival ended just about, 6 months ago, or thereabout, in June, and we are now here talking about not the one just gone, but the one that is to come. And we, from the St. Kitts Music Festival Committee, just want to wish all of our fans and the citizens of St. Kitts and Nevis a great Christmas season. And those of you who celebrate Carnival, we wish you a safe Carnival and an enjoyable Carnival as well. But for us today, the important focus is on the reveal of the first wave of artists. And I emphasize it is only the first wave. We have only 2 waves. The second wave would come shortly after. I now want to take the opportunity to invite the chairman of the St. Kitts Music Festival, Mr. Damien Hobson, to make some remarks. Damien.
Thank you, Val, our Master of Ceremonies. Minister of Tourism, the Honorable Lindsay Grant, Permanent Secretary in the Ministry of Tourism, Mrs. Kathleen Henry Morton, CEO of the Tourism Authority, Ms. Raquel Brown, sponsors, invited guests, the many listening via our live radio broadcast and live stream via social media, good morning. Almost a year ago, on the 18th December 2017, we came here and made history by announcing the first wave of artists for the 2018 St. Kitts Music Festival. On that occasion, we were able to fulfill the mandate given by the Minister of Tourism, the Honorable Lindsay Grant, to ensure that new measures were put in place to make earlier announcements regarding our artists. So last year was a record, and I stand before you again today on the 7th December 2018 as chairman of the festival to indicate that we are about to break our own record of 2017 and are now ready, some 7 months in advance, to reveal the first wave of artists who will be confirmed for June 2019. As has been the practice in the past, today we will not reveal all the names who we have confirmed. We will share only 4 on this occasion. Last year we gave you 3. I wish, though, to assure you that the other artists that we will announce in our second wave in early January 2019 will be well received by fans across the world. All I would say about the second wave is that if you think the first wave is great, wait for round 2 in January. Last December at the media launch here at OTI, we also made a few commitments. One, that we will have an early start to each of the 3 nights of the concerts. I'm happy to report that we achieved this objective, and you, the fans, turned out in large numbers, some as early as 6 o'clock. For this, we say thank you to all the music festival supporters. 2, we also made a commitment that we will bring an end to the very late completion of the concerts, so that fringe activities could see more benefits and public support. This too we were able to accomplish as thousands left the concerts and continued partying at private events across the island. 3, recognizing the problems that we had experienced in 2017 with the quality of production, we stated that it would change, and it did. And the bar was raised with a more professional approach to this important aspect of the festival. The results were that we delivered the best possible production. 4, another commitment that was made and delivered had to do with the layout and the ability of patrons at the bars to still have an opportunity to view on-stage activities. Thankfully, our logistics team surpassed expectations and transformed the venue. I again promise that for 2019, we'll have an even better venue layout to cater to all groups, including those who wish to sit and view the performances. 5, another commitment that was made last year was that a timelier payment of all vendors would be a priority. Thankfully, we managed to get the required support from the Ministry of Tourism and the Ministry of Finance, and were able to do good on this commitment. All vendors who submitted their invoices were paid within 1 month of the festival. I want to thank my entire committee members for their hard work in making sure that we kept our promises. Another important and major achievement for 2018 was the economic impact assessment of the festival. For this, we commissioned a company called CREST, Center for Responsible Travel. The final report was received in October this year, and I'm happy to quickly highlight the following. 1, overall spending directly attributable to the 2018 festival activities is estimated at $13 million. GDP in the economy is estimated to have increased by $5.7 million, and the number of jobs directly related to the festival is estimated at 2,260 jobs. We certainly raised the bar high in 2018, so you can expect even better services from my team in 2019. In 2019, we'll make a few other changes, and the main one is the venue, a new venue. The 2019 Senkis Music Festival will be hosted at the Kim Collins Athletic Stadium. Trust me when I tell you that the layout will be awesome. More effort will be made to ensure that no patron is disadvantaged when it comes to their preferred style of viewing the performances. And we intend to be more sensitive to the special needs of those who may be differently abled. Bigger and better performances in 2019. In 2019, we'll see the addition of new genres and performances lasting up to an hour and a half. We'll also feature artists who cater to the fancies of all festival goers, the young, the matured, and all others. And again, I assure you that in January, we'll present a great new New Year's gift to all fans when we make our final announcements. Before I close, I wish to make a special appeal to all promoters of fringe events to get ready and begin working on your activities for 2019. Our committee will again assist your efforts to help create a better experience for all our visitors and residents. I also call on hoteliers and operators of tourist activities to plan early and gain more financial rewards. Finally, I extend an invitation to all nationals of St. Kitts and Nevis and our friends in the sister islands and in the diaspora, especially in North America and Europe, to plan now, book your airline tickets, and make your hotel reservations to be in St. Kitts for the 2019 Music Festival, from Wednesday the 26th to Sunday the 30th of June. Remember, this will be another unforgettable experience. Thank you, Val.
Thank you very much, Mr. Chairman. And as he indicated, quite a number of achievements this year, almost said last year, this year, and only an inspiration to do better in 2019. We now move to the Honorable Minister responsible for tourism, Mr. Lindsey Grant, for his remarks.
Thank you, Chairman Val Henry, Chairman of the St. Kitts Music Festival, excuse me, Damian Hobson, CEO of the St. Kitts Tourism Authority, St. Kitts Tourism Authority team, Ministry of Tourism, invited guests, sponsors, everyone, good morning. My task this morning is quite simple. I don't think I'll be as long as Chairman Val or the other chairman, Hobson. My task is very, very simple. This morning, I just want to report to you that it is my understanding that the two important elements that we were trying to achieve out of the St. Kitts Music Festival was, one, that during this slow season of the tourism industry, we were trying to get heads in the beds, that is, more persons at the hotels. And secondly, to give some kind of economic impact to be a slow season in the tourism industry slow period. So this morning, I really want to bear down on the economic impact study which the Ministry of Tourism commissioned to see the direct impact that this St. Kitts Music Festival was having on the economy. Obviously, some people feel that it was good, some people felt it was bad, but we didn't want just to take the word of mouth. We wanted to do an assessment clinically to see exactly what the results were. In October, we received the full report of that assessment, and so this morning I just want to highlight a few of the Music Festival. The study was conducted by the Center for Responsible Travel, better known as CREST, out of the United States. According to them, the total spending in the economy that is directly derived from the St. Kitts Music Festival activities is estimated at some $13 million. That is, if the St. Kitts Music Festival did not happen, spending in the economy would be down by that very value for the period. Additionally, the St. Kitts Music Festival, the addition to the economy in terms of our GDP, our gross domestic product, was somewhere in the region of 5.7 million EC dollars. Additionally, the total number of jobs that has been attributable is almost 2,260 jobs. This suggests that if the festival did not take place, there would be some 2,260 jobs fewer, roughly over the 1 to 2 week period. And that is for persons, let's say, who had part-time jobs, somebody who may have worked just for a day, and somebody who may have benefited outside of the festival grounds, and they have estimated to be that. In addition to the direct expenditure by visitors and locals at the festival and in the local economy, the St. Kitts Music Festival creates a variety of indirect and community benefits, some of which are not quantifiable through the traditional methods. For example, the St. Kitts Music Festival includes capacity building, market access components for Kittitians and Division persons involved in the music industry, as well as other businesses. And the festival has become a significant source of community pride and engagement for residents. Additionally, the St. Kitts Music Festival has sparked annual fringe activities before and after the festival, some sponsored by the festival, others privately planned out. An estimated 10,055 attendees purchased tickets for the St. Kitts Music Festival in 2018. 1,755 of those attendees, that is 12% of the amount, purchased VIP tickets. 8,300 general admission tickets were sold for the 3-day festival. 27% of the attendees were St. Kitts Nevis residents. 27% were residents. 73% were international visitors. 73% international visitors. Among the international attendees, the main regions of origin were the United States, 58%, 58% the United States, Canada, 4%, the United Kingdom, 9%, the Caribbean, 24%, and others, 5%. Approximately 71% of all the attendees went to more than one day of the St. Kitts Music Festival. Almost 64% of the St. Kitts attendees attended the festival for more than one day. The equivalent estimates were the United States, 78%, Canada, 92%, the UK, 93%, the Caribbean, 86%, and others, 91%. Overall satisfaction of the St. Kitts Music Festival was very high. 33.8% reported that they were very satisfied. 40.2% reported they were satisfied. And another 10.4% reported that, in their opinion, they were neutral. When asked how likely they are to attend the St. Kitts Music Festival in future years, 68.5% reported very likely, 18.8% reported somewhat likely, giving you a total of some 87.3%. I must say, based upon the more than preliminary results from Quest, I think the government's commitment of somewhere in the region of $2.53 million every year is well spent. I think the economic impact assessment report that we have given in a synopsis of this morning is very important, so that at least the general public has an indication as to how the public funds are being spent. We have given an indication as to the number of persons attended. I want to be clear that the number that we gave this morning in terms of attendees has nothing to do, obviously, with those tickets that would have been given to sponsors and those tickets that were complimentary. Those are different numbers that we didn't release this morning. What we have released this morning are those paying patrons, to give you an indication as to the money generated from the festival. I can say this morning, without going into numbers, that we had a very significant year 2018 in terms of our revenues. I would leave it for the chairman at some later date, because we are in preparation with our accounts, our audit, and I think at least prior to the start of the festival in 2019, I think we would be in a position to release the audited accounts to the general public for scrutiny. So before I close, let me thank all of those who have come this morning for the first launch of and first wave of the artists. And secondly, to say we are in the spirit of Christmas and to have a happy and joyful Christmas season and all the best for the new year. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Mr. Minister. Quite an assessment there and quite an impact also in terms of how the St. Kitts Music Festival is making a contribution to the economy. $13 million is what you said? $13 million that was spent in the economy that otherwise would not have been spent were it not for the occasion of the St. Kitts Music Festival. And I think that is certainly significant in terms of the results coming out of the St. Kitts Music Festival. Again, I just want to say good morning and welcome to all who have joined us for this live broadcast that we are bringing to you from the Ocean Terrace Inn. And we welcome the listeners to ZIZ Radio, Win FM, Freedom FM, Vaughan Radio in Nevis, and also Sugar City, and our friends in the US and British Virgin Islands via CBN, and to all who are following our stream on social media in North America, Europe, and of course, those who support the festival from throughout the Caribbean. As the chairman said, today we are announcing just 4 artists, and others would be revealed in a short order, time to come. We assure you that there are more than 4 artists that have already been confirmed. And, but today we are only releasing 4. Last year, December on the 18th, we released 3. So we've had a good increase by 1 this year, and perhaps next year, this time or earlier, we might release the entire slate of artists. And I'm sure that as soon as my friend Chukapa sends me a signal here with the entire list, I'm sure you'll be very happy next year when we come this time and we give you the entire slate. I'm certain that the minister would smile broadly. But as the chairman said, when Damien was given the mandate to lead the committee, and even before that with Farron and others, the mandate has always been, please release early because it helps. And we saw how it helped this year in terms of people being able to make their airline bookings, hotel bookings, car rentals, et cetera, et cetera. So when we come in 2019 in July to announce for 2020, having just completed a month before, I'm sure we'll be very happy for that. So I think we are just about at that point now where we would bring to you, as soon as my buddy sends me that checklist there, Chukapa, I'm going to roll it out for you, and we're going to bring to you the full slate of artists that we have, that we are bringing to you at this present moment. But first, I could tell you that the first artist that we wish to announce today is an artist that I'm sure all of us would love. And then the second artist, and I'm looking at my friend Magic now, but I'm going to trick him, that we're going to bring is an artist that he and many others would love. And then the last artist is going to be one that everybody's going to love. But you know, it's not my task to do that. So I'm going to ask the chairman of the selections committee, Ambassador Jonald Powell, to take the reins and to reveal for us what we have.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Minister of Tourism, the Honorable Lindsey Grant, Chairman of the Music Festival, Damien Hobson, specially invited guests, good morning. Having listened to the report of the chairman and the comments from the minister, you kind of understand the pressure that the artist selection committee has been under. It seems as though we have not stopped working, literally, On the nights of the 2018 Music Festival, we had demands from patrons. We had artists contacting us while the shows were going on. And so we just went straight into the selection process for 2019. The success of this year's music festival has indeed made it very difficult. How do you top 2018? And at first, I thought it was going to be, an insurmountable task. But as that committee begun its work and really started digging deep, we realized we can only take the St. Kitts Music Festival to higher heights. And so I'm happy today to announce that we're confident that the slate of artists that we have come up with for you for 2019 will certainly top what we had this year. I know that there have been a number of suggestions on social media, who we get in from who we not getting, but I'm pleased to say that the 4 artists that we're about to release to you today, we believe will attract just about everybody into the new venue for 2019. Regardless of age, regardless of genres that you like, we believe that we have a nice little Christmas gift, if I may, for you, to encourage patrons from locally and from abroad. And so without any further ado, because I know that this is really what everybody's waiting for, I'd like to get straight into it. And so the first artist, as a matter of fact, I won't even say it. I'll let the video presentation speak for itself. And so I welcome the first artist for the St. Kitts Music Festival 2019.
Smokey Robinson. I don't care what they say. I don't care what they think. If you're leaving,
the first artist for the 2019 St. Kitts Music Festival is Mr. Smokey Robinson, Grammy Award winner.
I don't care what they do. Baby, let's cruise away from here. Don't be confused. The way is clear.
I see that we're already getting thumbs up from some of the more mature persons in the room. The second artist that I'd like to present to you takes the St. Kitts Music Festival outside of the traditional box that we've been operating in, and it shows the diversity that we're able to venture in and to bring in new patrons into the gates. And so I now present to you the second artist for the St. Kitts Music Festival 2019.
Davido. Banana fall on you, Prada fall on you, cause I'm in love with you. Money fall on you, banana fall on you, paparazzi follow you, cause I'm in love with you. Are you done talking? Tell me, baby, are you done talking? Yeah. Are you done talking? Tell me, baby, are you done talking? Yeah. Are you done talking? Tell me, baby, are you done talking? Yeah. Are you done talking? Tell me if I tell you, say I love you, oh. My money, my body, now your own, oh baby. 30 billion for the account, oh. Yeah. Versace and Gucci for your body, oh baby. No do, gotta for me. No do,
Ladies and gentlemen, Davido, probably the top Afrobeats performer in the world at present. Davido has crossed over into the dancehall and rap genres and is no stranger to the party scenes here in St. Kitts and Nevis as well. while we are sticking with some young people, we're going to put something else out there for young people. And the next artist is not a stranger to St. Kitts, but we proudly welcome him back to the St. Kitts and Nevis, well, the St. Kitts Music Festival.
No believe in a fern killer. Family, and me say family. Me love me family, them do me heart. Me would do the earth one of them. Real kill it dead to the end, dead from me start. Me real better them. Cause them no know when we a buy 3 sardines and the 1 pound of rice from shop. And them no know when we a get chased. She don't care if she and him fight or if him drive the far at the stoplight. Me and the only man she want, the only man she want, yeah. Our man says she very special, yeah, very special. Like a dry line, me nah lie. So I'm up on the front line, nah lie. If we buy all the world in a starch, the house and the car, still she won't give me the thing in the restroom and the bar.
Ladies and gentlemen, Popcorn. He has not graced the St. Kitts Music Festival stage for some time, but he has been here since. And Popcorn just seems to be one of those artists that you know, the people just want to keep bringing back and, you know, over and over. And so we have him again. Top of the dancehall game, because, you know, for the St. Kitts Music Festival, we only like to get the best. I now go to the final artist for announcement today. And again, we're sticking with going to the top of the game. We like to stay current. And so we're going to journey into the rap genre a bit. And so this artist is no stranger to the patrons that we expect in the gates, and certainly no stranger to any of you. You may not know his name, some of the more mature ones, but I'm sure you'll know the songs.
French Montana. If they want the drama, got the ooze. Ship the whole crew to the cruise ship. Doing shit you don't even see him move. Ride with me, boss. I got a hard head, but her ass off. She want the last name with the ring on it. Cause I pulled out $1 million cash, told her plank on it. You are unforgettable. I need to bad is with me. Women not gonna feel it. Money don't mean nothing. Don't feel you when they see it. My whole hood love me. But now wanna touch me. I ain't worried about nothing. 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 Round through each streamer. I ain't worried about nothing. I'm round with that. I'm round with
French Montana. Somebody who's more than just an artist, a producer, a record label owner. He has produced one of the biggest singles in recent time, in Unbelievable, certainly. And we're happy to be able to announce him today. And so the 4 artists, as I indicated before, Smokey Robinson, Davido, Popcorn, French Montana. We have artists spanning R&B, Afrobeats, dancehall, and rap. We believe that this is a nice teaser of what is to come. And believe me, this is not even close to where we're going to take the 2019 St. Kitts Music Festival. We believe, however, in this teaser, we have somebody for everybody. And that is the key of what we try to do within the Artist Selection Committee. We try to make sure that we can attract as many people into the gates of the St. Kitts Music Festival. And this is just the tip of the iceberg.
Thank you very much, Mr. Chairman. Let's give it for his committee. Yes. Another good job, and we compliment the committee, the subcommittee responsible for the artist selection. And you know, the music festival would like to bring everybody and anybody. But as the chairman likes to remind us, there are 3 guiding principles that determine which artists are in fact contracted. The most important one is the cost, because some artists are very north in terms of their cost, expensive to put another way. And sometimes you have artists that are valued at $450,000 US and more. And so we have to try to find the right balance. The other factor is availability, because you might have an artist that you want, you could afford, but they're not available for whatever reason. And the third factor is, of course, the appeal. What is the appeal of that particular artist to the patrons that we are trying to attract to the festival? So those are the three guiding principles that sometimes in the public people say, why don't you bring such and such? We'll very much like to, but then the cost involved. And not only the cost in terms of the fees, but also one of the groups I would love to see here, one of the acts I would love to see here is my favorite, and that is Rod Stewart. But when Rod travels, he travels with an orchestra, and that's airline fees, hotel fees, and all of that. So sometimes the artists that we would love to have, we can't have. But I think in the past, 24 years, the St. Kitts Music Festival since 1996 has done a tremendous job in bringing some top-class artists to these shores compared to any other destination in the region. And as we walk the town for the past couple of weeks and months, people have been whispering in the ears of the Artist Selection Committee and others, and they have been saying, bring this artist, bring that artist. And I want to tell so many who have been whispering in our ears that some of the acts that you've been asking to be brought, don't worry. Beyond this weekend, there would be other announcements to come when it comes to the second wave. So, Mr. Chairman, is there more brighter and pull the mic close to you, and brighter stuff to come in the future?
Much brighter.
Okay. Is that the same thing, Mr. Selection Committee Chairman?
Like I said, this is just the tip of the iceberg.
Okay. So beyond this weekend, because we want to celebrate this weekend, and once we get over this weekend, and the days and weeks to come, we'll make other announcements. And I'm sure many of you in the public who have been saying, why don't you bring this artist? Why don't you bring that artist? I can assure you that there was a song that went in days to come, or in time to come. In time to come by Crazy from Trinidad. In time to come, you're going to get exactly what it is you've been wishing and hoping for. But to review, and if we could speak just for a brief moment more, Mr. Chairman, Jonelle, in terms of the artists that we have this year, well, I know Smokey Robinson. So let me put a date on my forehead now. So I know Smokey Robinson. And I think Smokey Robinson was an artist that since before the 70s, but in the 70s and the 80s was, love perfection is what we used to call it sometimes in terms of the lyrics and the music that he produced. So I think Smokey Robinson, once you have a heart, he can appeal to you, because he sings about love. His music is smooth, it is clean, it is infectious. So I think Smokey Robinson is a big coup for us to have. And when we come on the heels of having Patti LaBelle earlier this year, when you're a kid growing up in the Caribbean in the 80s and 70s and so, and you hear about these artists in America, and you say, I would like to see those artists. And you're thinking then about traveling to America to see them. No more. You travel to St. Kitts to see them. And so we're bringing people from America to St. Kitts to see American artists. Isn't that deserves a round of applause?
Well, Val, if I must, if you check his bio, Smokey Robinson's career dates back to in fact, the 60s, the 50s, right up until the 80s and even into the 90s, not just as a performer, but in terms of a music writer. He's been inducted into the Hall of Fame as a writer of music, the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, as well as other notable awards and accolades. So he's somebody who has been able to stand the test of time. That is a name that sticks out as one of the greats. And as you rightfully said, after bringing somebody, like Miss Patti LaBelle, you can't take a step down. You can only stay at that level or keep going up. And we believe that we've been able to achieve that by bringing Smokey Robinson.
Well, you know, we've heard in the past for many decades since he was a young man. I actually met him for the first time right here at this hotel at the OTI when he was just a little teenager, about 13 years old. And his name was, or is, Machel Montano. But this year, we have gone from English to French. And so we're bringing French Montana, if we can speak to that artist, Jonelle.
Well, one is Montano, one is Montana, but I'm sure they're related somehow. As I had indicated before, French Montana he's actually of Moroccan descent. Moved to the United States at, I believe, like the age of 13. Always been into music and started off as many young aspirational rappers do with mixtapes and that sort of thing, but he was able to form his own small label, which got some notice. Eventually, he was able to pick up a deal with Bad Boy Records under P. Diddy, and that just sort of saw him skyrocket to mega stardom. And so he's not just a performer, but he's a record label owner, he produces. One of the things that we like to do is, as you all know, we like to have the workshops with the artists, the visiting artists, including local artists, whether they're actually on the music festival or not. The types of artists that we bring, they're not just coming to share with us how to sing on a stage, but they bring the business element to the fore. And again, French Montana is one of those persons who has been able to do, sing. He's been able to produce. He's been able to own. He's gone into clothing and fashion, and so we want to encourage our local artists to really engage with these visiting artists, to attend those workshops when we have them, because there's so much you can learn from. Calling them artists is restricting their abilities, but these business people, these professionals.
Certainly. And then the African flavor, and I reflect on 1996 when Lindsay, your predecessor, said he wanted an African artist for the music festival, and we were able to get that great musician. Do you remember his name, Jonelle? Let me test your age now. No?
I'm trying to remember.
Yeah,
well, we've had more than one.
Well, male, Who was he?
We had Lucky Dube.
No.
I know.
Okay.
Hugh Masekela.
Okay, yes. I was about to give a Red Music Festival ticket for that, but you got it.
I'll take it.
Okay. But now we're going back to the continent.
Right. Davido, born in U.S. but of Nigerian descent. He actually went back moved to Nigeria at a young age, and has really been on the Afrobeats stage for some time now. He's been able to really take Afrobeats out there to the world. As I indicated, he's considered me one of the top artists when it comes to Afrobeats. But what's special about Davido is that if you go to a dancehall party, you're gonna hear his music. You go to a party and they're playing rap music, then you're gonna hear him in there. He's been able to cross over into these other genres and sort of merge all these genres into his own very unique style. Young man but he really has been able to, again, get behind the scenes and do some producing as well. And so we tried to, as I indicated before, take the artists for the St. Kitts Music Festival outside of that traditional box that we may tend to look into. And I'm sure that as we have a growing African, and not just Nigerian, but African population here in St. Kitts and Nevis, we can bring a couple extra people into the music festival and let them know that, look, we are really targeting everybody. It's not just about the local people, not just about bringing people from America, but we have something for everybody.
Definitely. And so with the other artists, I'm told from the feedback I'm getting that it is tremendous to all the artists so far on social media. And Popcorn is getting a lot of feedback so far on social media, so that is good. And those of you who go to the movies, you would know Popcorn. But speak to Popcorn, not the one you eat, of course.
Yeah, Popcorn, as I indicated before, is not a stranger to St. Kitts and Nevis. He has been here a few times before, but has not graced the St. Kitts Music Festival stage for a few years now. He stays just bringing out hits and operating at the top levels of the dancehall genre, certainly over the last 10 years. He's one of those people, like I had mentioned before. You talk to people, you go out there and they just want him back. They don't mind. You can bring Popcorn every year, and the dancehall lovers are gonna enjoy that. He has new music, current music, which he's been able to keep at that level, and so we thought it was a very good idea to stick with somebody who's been able to operate at that level consistently. We like to bring the best, and so Popcorn was somebody that a lot of the patrons, a lot of people on social media were asking for, and unlike in recent years, has actually been available. This is not the first time in recent years that we've tried to get Popcorn. Val, you spoke about the availability of artists. I remember last year in particular, when we tried to get him for the launch last year, he had already been booked for a European tour. We are not just bringing in small artists to St. Kitts. We're bringing artists who appeal internationally, and this is a level that the St. Kitts Music Festival is operating at now. We are considered a major international festival, and so we are competing on an international stage with big international festivals and other events around the place. And so it is difficult, but we strive to bring you the best.
All right, good. We are so liberal when it comes to this music festival that we allow not only the media but anyone, and certainly starting first with any colleagues we have here from the media. We're going to change the program slightly. So if we have any friends from the media who wish to get in a little question here, here's your great opportunity. I ask my colleagues to just facilitate with an appropriate mic. And so anyone from the media that would like to ask a question or two, we want to give you the opportunity. The first person to go is Magic down front. So if we could get a mic to Magic, and we get in his. If there's another member of the media, we're just taking about 10 minutes of questions. Go ahead, Magic.
Good morning, everybody. And all the folks from the committee. This is Magic from Sugar City. First of all, I'm going to be talking about Smokey Robinson. You said that he's going to be here, but you all have told us, is it going to be on a Friday or Saturday? What night would the Smokey Robinson be here? Secondly, we know that Buju Banton is going to be released tomorrow. Today's Friday. You guys, I see smiles on y'all faces, so it's kind of giving away something to me. He's being released on Saturday. You guys are having this event here today on a Friday. I don't know, and I could tell by Janelle, everybody could see his smiles on your face. Is this, you holding this back till January? And if he is going to be here for Music Festival, don't you think that today would have been the perfect time to mention him here? Because of the fact that he's getting out of jail tomorrow?
Let me start with your first question. We're not discussing or we're not letting out the actual nights of performance for the artists yet. This is only the first 4. At the appropriate time, I guess at the final launch, we will let you know who's going to be on what night. For now, we just want to give you a teaser in terms of who's coming. Your second question, Buju Banton. I was waiting for it. As you rightfully said, he's not due to be released from prison until tomorrow. So I don't know how, if we had him, we could make an announcement today. What I will say in relation to Buju is that the reality is anybody who is anybody is trying to get Buju. I'd lie if I said that we have not tried, but the reality is Buju Banton is still incarcerated. He's not been released to date. We would love to get him, and if we do, we will let you know.
In January.
well, there's only one other release, so if we have something to tell you, we'll tell you then.
Okay, are you holding that back because you know he's not released? That's why you can't tell us right now.
Like I said, if we had something to tell you today, we would tell you today.
Good try. Good try, Magic. Very good try. Works on Magic, it might work. All right. We have just 7 more minutes on air.
Shaira Flanders for ZIZ News. Good morning.
Morning.
I have one question. So you mentioned that the venue has been changed to the Kim Collins Athletic Stadium. Can you give us in a nutshell why you believe this would be a more beneficial venue? And you also mentioned that you would like to ensure that the differently abled have access. Are you making plans to make rearrangements at the stadium? Can you mention that, please? Thank you.
Thanks for your question. A couple of things. I think we would already realize that for the 2018 Music Festival, the event was jam-packed. One of the criticisms we got was that even though you could stay by the bars and see the show, people just couldn't get to the bars. There were too many people there. And because of the limitations with the pitch, where we only can be on either side of the pitch and not over it, it limits the space that we can use for the festival. And we really just could not put anybody else in Warner Park. And so based on the artists that we have announced today and who we're going to announce in January, we felt that we needed a bigger venue. On top of that, there's cricket as well in June of 2019. And so we were already being pushed to the football field, which is just an absolute no-no. In terms of the Kim Collins Stadium, there are a number of advantages. It's a much bigger venue. We'll be able to control how much space we want on the grounds. Also, because of the size, we don't have to block the stand, the Kim Collins stand itself. So if you want to sit down in the stands, you can see. I think last year we had a challenge with the stands right behind the minister's box and VIP. We had a problem with the stands behind at the Kim Collins Stadium. We would not have that problem as well. And of course, because of how it is laid out, we have wheelchair access up at the Kim Collins Stadium, something that we did not have at the Warner Park Cricket Stadium.
Any other? Okay, if there's no other, we're going to go to we have one other? Okay, let's go ahead, please.
Sorry, I wanted to ask something else. Shaira Flanders again for ZIZ News. Can you tell us if pricing is still the same?
Good question. I actually thought Val was going to...
I was leaving it for the end.
Oh, you leave it for the end, yeah. Right. Yeah. So starting today till the end of January, we're going with $125 for the tickets. And from February 1st, we'll go to the original price, which is $135, which is the last price we had at the 2018 Music Festival. So again, from today, I think from midday, it should be online.
Yes.
By now, it should be up for the $125. And from February 1st, we go to the $135. Hopefully, in the next week or two, we'll have all the VIP packages as well, up online as well.
So I just want to hasten to add that we were very generous this year in terms of the tier of tickets. And I know we are we are a community with great expectations, but could I just be clear and say that only that tier that the chairman just outlined would be in existence that the 125 price is for December. That's your Christmas gift. And it's a New Year's gift, and it's the 31st of January, and after that, no other tiers. So don't wait expecting that we are going to do the same process as this year, and then you have a graduation in terms of the cost. And also, because it was not planned this year, so let me just mention it, that no, there are not going to be 2 special ticket VAT sales. I'm just giving it that terminology because this year we had 2 special discount days for tickets. So no, next year that won't happen. So please don't hold back the monies that you have to buy music festival tickets. I want you to do 3 things. Make sure that you recognize the importance of the season, Christmas, and you act accordingly. Second thing I want you to do is to support Carnival. And the third thing I want you to do is, of course, buy your music festival tickets online, starting this month. Apart from the one about putting, the importance of the season first, you could do the other 2 in whatever order you wish. So you could buy your music festival tickets and then buy your Carnival tickets. But once you buy both, that would be fine for us. So please make sure that you go and buy those tickets early. Take advantage of the early Christmas bird special of 125 because thereafter it'll be the full 135. So let's have those tickets going out to shelf. Now, we must come to an end. We started on time, and of course the practice that the good chairman, Mr. Hobson, established this year is that we will start the music festival concerts on time. We did that. It was wonderful on Thursday night to see people in the park in thousands from 7 o'clock. That's a record, and I think they should put a statue or plaque for that in recognition of how good we were as citizens and fans of the festival. So we started this conference on time, and we intend to end on time. Just 1 hour we need to bring the good news to you. We remind you that before the end of the or just about before we go to the second half of January, thereabout. But January is not going to end and you don't have the full slate. I want to make an appeal, as was mentioned by the chairman, to all fringe activities organizers. Please contact me now because we're going to go much earlier this year too in terms of releasing the fringe activities calendar. If you have not done anything in the past, we welcome you. And we are willing to support because the minister gave the mandate to that music festival must spread its wings in terms of the economic benefit, especially to small businesses and individuals that wish to make money from it. This year we had a little challenge in terms of people couldn't get enough hotel rooms, so we want to encourage people with apartments and villas to put your stuff on notice and sale and let people know what you have available early. So we thank the media, we thank our sponsors, and I want to mention that without the sponsors and the volunteers, our colleagues like to say, it would not be possible. St. Kitts Music Festival, and the volunteers are of tremendous importance, and so too are the sponsors. And we look forward to having more sponsors this year. And speaking of sponsors, by the way, we were very pleased when one of our sponsors agreed to forego one of their programs on Radio Live just to make sure that we captured all the radio stations that we wanted to. And I want to say a special thank you to Flo for doing that because they had a special promotion that they wanted to ring out today, and perhaps we'll still do it later today. And we were able to convince Flo to just float aside for a while and allow us the time here to have this event. And we want to recognize them for that cooperation. And by extension, as we do for all of our sponsors, to listen out later today on the media for their promotion and make sure that you give them some support. Also, in closing, I just want to encourage the media throughout the Caribbean to make sure that you apply early this year for possible accreditation so that you can be part of the coverage for the St. Kitts Music Festival. The dates, I remind you, are from Wednesday the 26th to Sunday the 30th of June 2019. That's next year. So congratulations, Mr. Minister, Mr. Chairman, and the entire committee for announcing the first wave of artists all the way 6 months or 7 months in advance. So that's tremendous. So Flo has some special data that you can get free. Some you have to pay for too. And if you switch to postpaid, they have a special promotion going on. If you sign up for the Flow TV, you can get some goodies there too. And to put it in one way, they have amazing deals on their latest LTE handset. So we want you to go to the Flow stores wherever they are in this country and support Flow, one of our sponsors. OTI, thank you very much for your cooperation and your support as well. I'm Val Henry, and we want to thank all of our listeners and viewers, and we look forward to seeing you in 2019 from the 26th of June for the St. Kitts Music Festival. Have a great weekend.
Baby, are you done talking? Yeah. Are you done talking? Tell me, baby, are you done talking? Yeah. Are you done talking? Tell me, baby, are you done talking? Yeah. Are you done talking? Tell me if I tell you, say I love you, oh. My money, my body, now your own, oh baby. 30 billion for the account, yo. Yeah, Versace and Gucci for your body, oh baby. No do, gotta for me.